This is what it looked like on the campus of UC San Diego today as pro-Palestinian protesters chanted for the release of the more than 60 people arrested by police. The university sent out a statement today saying 64 protesters were arrested, 40 of them students. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. The mostly peaceful protest turned more tense today. Police cleared out the encampments early this morning, but some students refused to leave. Our Brian White has been on the campus of UC San Diego for hours and tells us what's happening right now. Brian?
This is where the encampment was set up before law enforcement broke it up and cleared everyone out this morning. The area now blocked off by barricades with security guards posted. Now, let me show you what the situation looked like earlier.
What is happening is wrong. We need you to hold the school accountable.
Tension on campus this morning as police dismantled the Gaza Solidarity encampment that had been there since Wednesday. At about 6 a.m., UCSD campus police, CHP officers, and sheriff's deputies broke up the encampment, arresting 64 people. Of those, 40 were students.
What they're doing is wrong. And what we have been doing, and we have our First Amendment right to freedom. Let's tell them, let them go, let them go, let them go.
Shortly after students were cleared from the area, our CBS 8 cameras were there when cleanup crews came in, taking apart tents and clearing items left behind like chairs, backpacks, protest signs, and megaphones. The whole cleanup taking about 30 minutes.
Let them go! Let them go!
The arrested students were detained inside the Price Center before being loaded into vans and buses.
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
Protesters gathering and chanting in the road, preventing Sheriff's Department buses from pulling out and leaving campus. Sheriff's deputies eventually pushing the crowd back out of the roadway, making more arrests in the process. The buses finally able to leave. UCSD told CBS 8 the arrested students have been or will be placed under immediate interim suspension. In a statement, they said, quote, the decision to vacate the site was based on danger arising from a prolonged event in terms of health, fire, safety, and security, end quote.
Right now, we need the UC system to have a dialogue with us. We need them to let our students go because these are our students.
At UCSD, Brian White, CBS 8.
Brian, thanks for a look at that. And as we mentioned, 64 protesters were arrested on campus. And just about 3 hours ago, the Muslim Leadership Council of San Diego, along with more than 100 protesters, gathered outside of the San Diego Central Jail, calling for the release of those arrested. The organization says students were unfairly targeted by UC police and the Sheriff's Department. The director of the Islamic Center of San Diego said today he joined the protest to support students, and then he shared his own experience.
They pulled up their guns, and this is not acceptable. They pulled up their guns in front of peaceful, unarmed, innocent students. And when I challenged them why they did so, when I asked them to put their guns away, they pepper sprayed me in my eyes and in my face.
Right now, the protesters who were arrested this morning remain inside the Central Jail. The protest at UC San Diego is just one of many taking place around the country, all calling for their universities to divest from Israel. This is what it looked like at UCLA, where the university has just announced classes will be remote for the rest of the spring semester. At MIT in Boston, hundreds of community members have come out to rally. And at George Washington University in D.C., they are marking day 11 of protests there. Meanwhile, in New York City, Columbia University announced it is canceling its main spring graduation. The decision comes after weeks of protests there. Instead, Columbia will hold school-level ceremonies over the next 2 weeks. For many of these students, this will be their second missed graduation. In 2020, most high school ceremonies were canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic.